What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we need to talk about Sundial stock, ticker symbol SNDL, because this stock has some interesting stuff going down for it in the near future. There are some things that happen for it even today, and obviously we've got the looming threat of cannabis legalization that will hopefully pump this stock up in the near future. Now, you can see today there was actually a little pump in Sundial stock, and this was actually a sympathy pump off of some news that Tilray bought up Hexo debt and inked an alliance with them. So they bought up $193 million worth of their debt and also got a seat on the company's board. So exciting stuff for Tilray and Hexo. Sundial ended up moving up in sympathy with that. So that was an interesting little pump that we saw earlier this morning. It mostly faded away, but Sundial still ended the day green. We're up about 1% on Sundial stock over the course of the day. Now, obviously, we've got the earnings call coming up. The earnings call is coming up on the 14th of April. So in 2 days from now, we're getting earnings. And the one thing that I want you guys to watch out for during the earnings call is actually the inflation, okay? There is obviously, as we just got today, new inflation reading out, 8.5% year over year inflation. That's obviously going to be taking its toll on a bunch of businesses, right? Sundial included. I would expect that at the earnings call, it's potentially possible they could mention some slowdowns due to inflation, potentially the rising cost of fertilizer, a lot of which comes from Russia and Ukraine. This is something I've said before, but I feel like it's important to reiterate just for anyone who's forgotten right before the earnings call. Just watch out for that. Obviously, they could also highlight some of the potential growth that they could be going through and the acquisition with Alcana, and potentially some growth that they might expect in the future due to legalization in the U.S. if that ends up happening. So obviously, it could go either way, right? You'll just want to watch out for what they end up saying regarding inflation. That's the one negative aspect I could see potentially regarding this earnings call. They might say something about inflation messing with the business, but it's important to note that that will probably be a temporary negative aspect of their company, right? They probably won't be dealing with that forever, right? Obviously, inflation will eventually move back down. It hopefully will move back down over the long term, and Sundial will be able to go back to normal costs, right? But right now, a lot of companies are going to be dealing with this. Now, the short interest on Sundial is very interesting. It's actually continuing to shrink. It's just moving down and down and down. And we're now actually below 190 million shares short. We're only at 184 million shares short. Shorts are jumping out of this thing. My suspicion is they realize that it's likely we're going to go through a big bull cycle right around the time of legalization, and shorts are trying to get out before that happens, right? Shorts don't want to get caught with a Sundial position when Sundial is pumping. So you can see shorts have been jumping out of Sundial. We're now down below 9% of the free float being short. And shorts are probably, in this circumstance, making the right move, in my opinion, right? I think it's a good idea if you're a short on Sundial to potentially be covering your position. Obviously, that's not financial advice for you guys, but the shorts, in my opinion, are doing the right thing now, right? They're getting out of Sundial. I'm surprised it took them this long to do it, but it looks like they've finally seen the writing on the wall. They're finally starting to leave. You can see we have basically, with the short interest over the past week or so, just been dropping off a cliff, right? Shorts are fleeing this stock. So all in all, that's looking like a very good situation that's continuing on. Now, regarding legalization, we've got some interesting stuff. North Dakota activists just filed a new cannabis legalization initiative for the 2022 ballot. Now, right now, this is just a petition. So they're petitioning to get legalization put on the state's ballot. We'll see if that actually goes through. In Kentucky, this is just reiterating, a bunch of people really want cannabis legalization. To some extent, the Kentucky governor, is exploring executive action that he could take to reform medical cannabis. Because the bill that was going to reform it is actually stalled out in the Senate right now. So the governor is going to look into taking matters into his own hands. He's going to look into legalizing it with an executive order. So we'll see what ends up happening with that, right? And the last story that we've got, a very interesting story. This is really reiterating a lot of the reason why we need cannabis legalization at the federal level. Montana is on pace to generate more jobs and tax revenue from cannabis than coal this year. So more jobs and tax revenue will be generated from cannabis sales than by coal sales this year, if they keep going at the pace they have been, right? From January 1st to the end of March, they've generated $72.9 million in sales from cannabis. So all in all, it seems like it's a big boon to the economy. I think a lot of people are starting to realize that. They're starting to realize that a lot of money can be generated from cannabis sales, a lot of tax revenue as well. The federal government is in a bit of a tight spot right now, right? A lot of money's been printed. There's a lot of debt out there. there's a lot of inflation, they could certainly deal with a boost to the economy, right? People are very worried about the economy. And in my opinion, this could be a big boost for it. And not just my opinion, but obviously we're seeing it happen in Montana right now. We're seeing big numbers being generated by cannabis sales in Montana right now, more than coal. So obviously, this would be a great industry to potentially allow to operate in the United States, as it already is in Canada and some other countries. So all in all, guys, it's looking like a fairly bullish situation for Sundial stock. We're looking at a pretty good situation over the next couple of months, I expect. Shorts fleeing the stock is really a very good sign. The fact that shorts are finally starting to catch on to what's going on with the stock, they're finally jumping out of it. I'm very excited to see that. And hopefully we'll continue to see good stuff in the coming months for Sundial stock. So that's what we've got for today. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And other than that, guys, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.